ఇలాంటి గిన్నె ఇంకోటి తెచ్చినా కూడా అయిపోద్ది. ఇంట్లో అమ్మ చేసినట్టు ఉంది, చాలా బాగుంది.
Welcome to the journey of Vishwa Foundation, an organization dedicated to bringing positive change to society every single day. In just 1,176 days since its inception in May 2021, Vishwa Foundation has grown into a beacon of hope and change. Vishwa Talks is an online platform inspiring people to participate in social change by hosting experts who share insights on diverse topics every Saturday.
Namaste. Vishwa is an organization which works towards building the grassroots levels of India. The first step we take towards that is to build an awareness. We work in different causes, from education, health, art and culture to 12 other causes. On every Saturday at 11 a.m., we have a talk on these various topics. For example, when it comes to health, India has a rich source of Ayurvedic treatments, alternative medicines like Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha, naturopathy. At a time when India is leading in diabetes, heart attacks, cancer, we have preventive medication which can be used. So a lot of talks have come out where people can use household items to prevent some of these or to control some of them. Our grandmothers were a rich source of information. Our parents knew a little lesser than that. And we know a lot lesser than that. And perhaps our children may never get that heritage. Here at Vishwa, we have people who tell us how to use the household items like curry leaves or neem or lemongrass, for what ailments, etc. Similarly, we have talks on art and culture. We would like to have our Indians to be united, be one, be proud of their culture, their heritage. We have a lot of talks where people from various walks of life have come forward and spoken about various buildings, various dance forms, etc. These are two examples I have given. We cover 12 causes like this in our Vishwa Talks. As a first step, we want to bring in awareness among the coming generation. Our audience is across the country and sometimes abroad too. We have a rich interactive session after the talk is given by the expert. It's for any person who watches these talks to decide what they want to believe in, what they don't want to believe in, and if they have any clarifications, they're free to ask questions. After this, we want to build the skills of the people of India. Today, India is on the cusp of moving into one of the top countries of the world. But unfortunately, the skills of our people do not match our aspirations. Here at Vishwa, we started out in a small way. We started with computer training. Fortunately for us, Rotary and some people have donated computers to us. We teach 10th class students, inter students and degree students so that when they go for jobs, they don't get rejected. We teach the basics like Excel, Doc, ChatGPT, how to market, the basics we teach. Because most of them cannot afford computers and they have no access to them. And similarly, we have something called celebrations. Celebrations is celebrating your loved ones on their anniversaries, on their birthdays, on their death anniversaries. You can contribute to any of the causes that Vishwa showcases on its platform, vishwa.org. You could, Annadanam for instance. There are a lot of people across the country who, when they go to hospitals, they come up from far off regions and the little money they have, they keep it aside for the treatment of the patient. They sleep on platforms, they hardly eat anything. And we give them food every afternoon on Fridays and it makes a lot of difference. There are similar such fundraisers. Please feel free to celebrate your loved ones with any of these causes.
Vishwa's commitment towards zero waste and the long way to go in achieving the goal begins with our material donation drive. Conducted twice a year during Diwali and Ugadi in Hyderabad, this drive collects clothes, books, toys and other used or semi-used items for the underprivileged. Contributions from over 615 plus families have benefited around 2,800 individuals, providing essential items and support, bringing hope and dignity to them. Through these efforts, we transform the waste of some into the treasure of others, promoting sustainability and community welfare.
Namaskaram. A very good morning and welcome to Vishwa Talks. My name is Trishant and I thank you all for attending today's event on Zoom. And to those watching on YouTube live. For those of you who have attended a Vishwa Talk before, a warm welcome back. And for our new joinees, here's a little bit about us. Vishwa Talks is here to create awareness amongst people and to protect our social heritage and to let people make their own decisions. Here we invite experts to discuss and explore diverse opinions, different perspectives, various issues, problems, and their solutions on various fields, including art and culture, healthcare, environment, education, and many more. So far, we have covered over 150 talks. Each webinar is an interactive session with a deeper understanding of the topic at hand. If you miss any part of the session or would like to go through the previous sessions, please visit our website or Vishwa Talks YouTube channel for a full library of past Vishwa Talks on various interesting topics. We are honored to welcome Ms. Sharbani Chaudhary, a renowned psychologist, mental wellness advocate, and the founder director of Mind Sutra Wellness Center. With years of experience and dedication, Ms. Chaudhary has been instrumental in promoting mental health and emotional well-being across various sections of society. She's an RCI registered psychologist and serves as a consultant psychologist to the Indian Air Force, where she has provided vital mental health support to numerous military personnel, helping them cope with stress, trauma, and emotional challenges. Ms. Chaudhary also reaches a wider audience through her YouTube channel, Mind Sutra Sharbani, where she offers valuable mental health guidance. In addition, she conducts a deeply transformative course on healing and awakening, empowering individuals to reconnect with themselves and their inner strength. We are delighted to have her with us today. Please join me in warmly welcoming Ms. Sharbani Chaudhary. As we dive into today's interesting discussion, I would like to inform the audience that our speaker will be taking questions from you after our main talk. So please leave your questions in the chat box or use the raise hand tool, and we will allow you to ask your question in person. I request everyone to turn on your webcam for the interactive part of the webinar. Request you to keep the questions concise and short. Please limit the interaction part to questions, and you can share your experiences, opinions, and perspectives in the chat box. So without further ado, let's welcome Ms. Sharbani Chaudhary as she shares her inspiring journey and valuable insights into inner child healing. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today we are going to again reconnect with our inner child. And what is inner child? Actually, let's understand that first. So inner child is our own subconscious mind. Okay. And this from 0 to 7 years, the subconscious mind is so very active, and the conscious mind is not at all active. So whenever we were told that Santa Claus will come on December 25th, we always believed as children. And whenever we were told that the tooth fairy will come, so we would so hopingly keep our broken tooth below the pillow, because our subconscious mind doesn't have any filter. So it will just keep on absorbing everything, whatever is being told to the child of 0 to 7 or 0 to 8 years age. Similarly, when a child is told that, yes, you can do, as we know that when Shivaji Maharaj was just 2 years old, mother of Shivaji would say, Raje Shivaji. Now a 2-year-old was actually programmed to become such a great king. And similarly, sometimes as parents, we do some mistakes when we criticize the child, when we reprimand the child for every small incident. Those the imprints, the earliest imprints, the deepest wounds stay along with the child always. So this is what is inner child, and this, unless it is healed, we really cannot reach up to our true potential. So next slide, please. So today we will be learning how to heal the deep-rooted wounds, pain, trauma, memories, and how these impact our adult life also. That is something very important, that how these traumas, these memories, these emotions which were put into us at a very young age, how they are impacting our present life scenario. And secondly, we will be connecting with our true self, the true authentic self, by honoring our worth. So let's see the next slide, please. We have a video.
Rakesh, could you please share the video? Yeah.
It's really hiding my face crying. When I was really little, around 11 or 12, I was under contract with Motown, and I would have to go to the recording studio. I had to go and make these albums because the summer tour was right around the corner, and right across the street from the recording studio was a ballpark. And I could hear the kids, the roar of the crowd and playing and catching ball and having fun and playing tennis. And some of those times I so passionately wanted to just go over there and just play a little bit and not go to the recording studio and sing. Just to, have some fun with the kids. And I couldn't. I mean, on tour backstage with all the musicians and the singers, and I felt grown up for all my life. I remember all the time when I was little, they used to call me a 45-year-old midget wherever I went. I used to always hear that, and I just would hear it, never thought about it. When you were little, when you started to sing, did you know you were that good? I never thought about it. I just did. But you don't miss then not ever having had what they call an average childhood? No, not really. No. We get to do things kids do in the neighborhood. Well, you don't get to do things that other children get to do. The simple things that they so much take for granted. Mm-hmm. Having friends and slumber parties and buddies and just hanging out. There was none of that for me. I didn't have any friends when I was little. My brothers were my friends. In bed sleeping night, I was up doing clubs. I was doing club dates, 3 a.m. The striptease would come on after us. We were performing. And we didn't have friends. My brothers were like my friends, but we worked. There was some Christmas, there was birthdays, and we were very strict Jehovah's Witnesses. From one concert to the next. It wasn't concert, it was the recording studio. If it wasn't that, it was TV shows or interviews or picture sessions. Mm-hmm. It was always something to do. What would you do if you had a vacation? I mean, a real vacation where you could just get off and away from singing and anything that looked like work? What would you do? What would I do? I really don't know. You've never really done it. In my life, I really had one vacation, and that was last Christmas. Outside of that, let me think what I did. I just stayed home. I watched television. I read that. I remember one time we were getting ready to go to South America, and everybody was packed up in the cars, ready to leave and go, and planes about to, and I hid it. And I was crying while I was hiding because I really did not want to go. I wanted to play. I did not want to go. No, he's going to kill me.
He's going to get you still worried about well, he feels that he was stripped. I'm glad he said it. Now I'll say it, yes. Did he ever beat you? Yes, he did. Yes. And that was difficult to take, getting beaten and going on stage and performing. Yes. My father used to always say, don't mess up, and I felt I knew every part. If something went wrong, I felt I could cover it. Well, I didn't have it that hard because he used me as the example. It was like, do it like Michael. And he practiced us with a belt in his hand. And if you miss a step, expect to be...
Dude, I heard you resigned for...
Now we saw how when the child was so innocent, so pure, he was beaten up black and blue, and how his childhood was murdered, and what memories would this human being will have for the future, and what emotions he will carry throughout his life. Will he have trust for the people? Will he develop trust in the future? Will he develop the kindness, the compassion with which one should look at the world? The lens with which we see the world is developed at this tender age of 0 to 7. Now we see another example in the next video. We will see how Hitler was made what he became in his adulthood.
To where it all started and taking a look at Hitler before he became the Fuhrer, before he even joined the Nazi Party in the first place. Did something happen to this man in his youth that made him the monster he turned out to be? Let's take a look and find out. It probably doesn't come as a surprise that Hitler's father was a terrible guy. Alois Hitler Sr. was born Alois Schicklgruber in 1837 in the small Austrian town of Strons. He was an illegitimate child of a 42-year-old unmarried Catholic peasant known as Maria Schicklgruber, which carried a fair bit of social stigma at the time. He wasn't even given a proper surname on his baptismal certificate. The priest just wrote illegitimate instead. This was likely a major source of insecurity for young Alois. When Alois was just 5, his mother married a local miller by the name of Johann George Heidler. It's strongly believed that Johann could have actually been Alois's biological father, but nobody can ever really know for certain. Some have speculated that a Jewish man named Leopold Frankenberger was actually Alois's real biological father, but there isn't any hard evidence for this whatsoever. It just came into popular belief because the idea of Hitler, history's most famous anti-Semite, having a Jewish grandfather seemed darkly ironic, but this assumption doesn't really line up with the facts. 4 years after the marriage, Maria passed away, and Alois was sent to live with his new uncle Johann Nippelmunck Heidler, with whom he trained to become a cobbler. But that wasn't the path that Alois ended up taking in his life. Instead, he became a civil servant and joined the semi-military profession of being a customs official. This led him to bouncing around Austria for a number of years, and in 1877 he decided to right the biggest perceived wrong of his life and legitimize himself. With permission from his church, he asked to change his surname from Schicklgruber to that of his legal father, Johann George Heidler. For reasons lost to time, the official who filled in Alois's papers wrote his name as Alois Hitler rather than Alois Heidler. It's crazy to think that if Alois had never gotten his name changed, we might have been looking back in fear at the dread of Adolf Schicklgruber. Doesn't quite have the same scary ring to it, does it? So who is Hitler's mother? She's actually the third wife of Alois. His first wife was the wealthy Anna Glassel-Horer, but much like his future son, Alois was a bad guy and would have affairs frequently, often cheating on her with girls as young as 19 when he was 43. He next married one of his mistresses, Franziska Fanny Matzelberger, after Anna died, and had 2 children with her. However, he would soon leave her too for his housekeeper, young Clara Posel. But there was just one problem. Depending on the truth of Alois's parentage, Clara might have also been his first cousin, or even his niece. Yes, that's right, Hitler could have been the product of cousin incest, and things would only get stranger from there, as Alois and and Clara started having children together. They had 6 in total, Hitler included, but the grand majority of them died in their infancy. Gustav, Otto, and Ida died of diphtheria the year before Hitler was born, and another one of his brothers, Edmund, would die of measles in 1900. The only surviving children of Alois and Clara were Adolf and his younger sister, Paula. Adolf was born on April 20th, 1889 in the small Austrian town of Braunau am Inn, close to the German border. He lived with his mother and father, his biological siblings Paula and Edmund, and his 2 half-siblings from his father's second marriage, Angela and Alois Jr. While he was close with his mother, conflict with his father and his inability to adapt to school gave young Adolf a troubled childhood. Alois Hitler Sr. was a profoundly cold and cruel man to his immediate family. He was controlling, distant, and would beat his wife and children at the drop of a hat. Some even recounted that he'd make a show of beating the family dog until it wet itself on the carpet. Adolf was a confident and free-spirited young man, so he received the worst of his father's physical abuse in their frequent fights. They also moved around a lot during Hitler's youth, as Alois Sr. retired from his job as a customs official and decided to move to the Austrian town of Hafeld to farm bees. The move made things even worse for Adolf and Alois Sr.'s relationship. Adolf was enrolled in a strict state-funded elementary school and found himself at odds with the establishment's rules and regulations. This led to further violence from Alois, who wanted his son to take a similar career path to himself. While Clara tried to defend her son from his father's wrath, she often ended up on the receiving end instead. It was a truly toxic home life. When the bee business failed, the Hitlers continued to move around over the next few years.
So here also we see the home atmosphere was so toxic, and definitely his father was quite a bully. He was a major bully. So all these things made Hitler such a monster. So before we learn the expectations and rules of this world, the adult world rather, every child is free, open, and full of potential. But after these things are taught to the child, naturally, the true, authentic self and the connection with the subconscious dissolves. We all get disconnected from our core self. And that is why it is so very important to have the inner child healing. Next slide, please. If we don't heal ourselves, what happens? Emotional triggers. Choti baat, big reactions. Small event, a very big reaction. Insecurities. Always feeling of insecurity will haunt us. Suffering from low self-worth, fearing rejection, and low self-esteem and perfectionism. Yes, perfectionism is also a result of rejection wound, because the child now is not allowing himself to do any mistake. If he, by chance, if he does any mistake and the parents or the authority figure leaves him, so he is totally keeping his desk spick and span. His marks are always above 95. But the sad part is that what is the price that child is paying? He is no more a playful child. He is always on the edge. So these are the various repercussions if inner child is not healed. Please, next slide. And how does the voice of your inner child show up? It shows up as negative self-talk. I can't do this. Impossible for me to get this job. All these, negative self-talk. Before you go for an interview, your mind has already decided, ये तो job मुझे मिलेगा ही नहीं. Perhaps in your childhood, you were badly criticized. Emotional dysregulation. Again, emotional dysregulation is what I discussed. Small event, big reactions. Negative core belief. I can't achieve it. I'm so not lovable. I'm so not competent. So all these things put together make us our core belief, what we believe about our own self. And there is anxiety triggers off and on. One gets anxious off and on. So next slide, please. These are all the voices of our inner child. So we have to sit with ourselves and find out, what is my inner child feeling? Is it feeling fear? Because those are the imprints. Those have been put into this child, or loneliness, or the need of reassurance. No issues, beta. You go ahead. I am behind you. If a parent says like that, the child develops the confidence. Otherwise, the child will always be shaky. Acknowledge the voice, which will help you to deal with compassion rather than defensiveness. Another thing which happens when a inner child is not healed, the person will always keep on reacting from the place of ego. If a small thing is also told, ki today your hair is not looking, it's looking very unruly, or why? Why did you say this to me? This is again a defensive mechanism. The child is the broken adult, rather, I should say, is no way ready to accept that, yes, there is something a little not so correct and I can redo it. So all these are defensive voices. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is again seeking validation from others. Is my inner child is seeking validation from others, or keep doubting his own judgments? We have to sit with ourselves and find out these answers. Is the inner child feeling difficulty in setting boundaries? Is he allowing other people to walk over him, whatever may be the event or the cause? These are all the questions which we must sit quietly and ask our own selves. Next slide. Next slide, I told.
Yeah, he's sharing. There was a technical problem with the
No issues.
slide. He's sharing it.
So till here, everything is clear. Thank you so much. This was already shown. Already shown. Already shown.
Yeah, it's loading now.
I-
Just a moment. There's a technical issue with the slideshow. Just a moment, Mark. We'll just regulate it again. Rakesh, could you please start from the slide that we left without the videos?
Yeah, these are again, because of the unhealed inner child, one suffers from emotional wounds, emotional overreactions, which I have already spoken about: small event, big reaction, loud reactions, or few people will withdraw, no emotions at all, will withdraw from the communication or anything. Then few people don't suffer from lack of purpose. Even if they have achieved a lot, like disconnection from joy and lack of purpose is quite a overlapping symptoms, that even when one has achieved a lot in life, the particular amount of money, the particular amount of number, or the car they were dreaming of, still that happiness, that joy is missing. And that is always a chronic sadness kind of a thing, is perpetually there. And one feels a void, because that means the inner child is not healed, because these are the deepest and the earliest traumas, making the child believe that I don't belong here. I'm anyway not lovable. Nobody loves me. So all these are emotional wound which an unhealed person will carry. Next slide. Now this pain, this emotional pain will stay inside our heart and making it feel heavy, dull, and sometimes it is very sharp. Must have, like 99% of us must have felt sometimes this pain. Yes or no? Let's make it interactive. Sometimes. Thank you. Okay. So next slide. Now, when left untreated, it becomes our lens to see the world. First of all, if we don't heal the inner child, we develop the perception about ourselves and the world, that the world is like this only. This becomes our lens to see the world and as well as ourselves. So just imagine how detrimental this kind of an unhealed inner child is to our peace, mental peace, and growth, material growth as well. Next slide. And once it is healed, we feel more powerful from within and we can embrace the joy, deeper sense of happiness. Next. Now I will ask all of you one question. Just write down, when did you feel most vulnerable, emotionally hurt and neglected, or misunderstood, or criticized and felt a loss? What age was it? Okay, someone is writing in my teens, okay. Childhood, but what, which age? That age, we have to go back to that inner child, that small little child who was unheard. 6 to 7, very correct. Okay, 6, maybe 6, yes. 5 to 9, yes. Wonderful. Such lovely audience. I think, yeah, felt it from the beginning. Jasmeet Kaur. Okay. So we have to target this inner child. For the first time, when the child felt unheard and unloved and neglected, rejected, dejected, a small little girl standing in a room full of relatives and saying, Suno, Suno, meri baat bhi suno, and nobody is looking at her, nobody is listening to her. That is the time when the inner child got hurt for the first time. And we have to search that. Next slide, please. What belief did you form about yourself at that moment? वो memory क्या थी? वो उम्र क्या था? And how does that belief play out in your life today? You have to think it, write it, journal it. That वो जो तब nobody looked at me, nobody smiled at me. हाँ बेटा क्या बोलना चाहते हो? Nobody. Everybody ignored. Maybe I'm not important. Very good. Brief memory. Bad memory, sorry. feeling of worthlessness. Yes, all these are being carried by us till date, but we are not aware. We are not aware that we are carrying all these feelings, and with these feelings as our core belief, do you think you can really enjoy life to that extent? Because our mental bandwidth has really gone this much. We can't even think, yes, I can achieve anything and everything. Next slide, please. Overthinking, yeah. All these are the repercussions, no? Now you have to search. What does your inner child need from you now? Does it need to be seen? Does he need to feel safe? And does he need to set boundaries? Because once you give those things to the inner child will get healed up. Okay? All. Yeah. Such broken adults we are actually, unless we heal our inner child. Next slide, please. Yeah, same. What were your unmet needs? Was it love? Was it safety? Was it validation or encouragement? You have to find out that what was it I was looking for from my family members, from my parents, from my authority figure, but I didn't get. So, next. Your inner child is still searching and seeking the same in adult life. Okay. Now, next. What emotions come up? Any particular memory? Again, I am telling you to reflect. Write down your thoughts, please. Maybe after the webinar, you sit with a diary and write down your thoughts and note how your inner child may still be influencing your life today. Next. And only once it is healed, then you learn to love yourself unconditionally. पहले क्या होता था, बचपन में बताया गया था, बेटा if you come first you will get a gift. This is a conditional love. This is a deal. This is not love. If you keep your room clean na beta, mama will come and give you Barbie doll. This is conditional love. And we also learn to love ourselves conditionally. Then give care and attention. तभी मिलेगा care and attention जब मैं कुछ करके दिखाऊंगा या दिखाऊंगी. But love is never conditional. Are we on the same page, all of us? Yeah. And then only we can develop a greater confidence. So now the slideshow is over. Now I will just give, to wrap up, very small 4 points I will give. Yeah, this is the battling silently, those of any of your friends or families who are battling silently. I run a course of healing and awakening program. You can always join us. It's a transformative journey. It's not actually a course, rather it's a journey. So
We'll
Now,
share the contact information, this
yeah,
particular image,
one can
to
take a
all the.
screenshot or something for the numbers and.
We'll be sharing it in the email
Okay,
post the
okay,
webinar.
okay. Now, the slideshow we can stop, and I will just speak to the audience for a few minutes. Now, see how you will deal with this inner child healing. I will give you very simple 4-step formula. सबसे पहले recognize कीजिए, recognize your wound. कौन सा wound है, कब से दर्द शुरू हुआ, whether you had a rejection wound or abandonment wound, कुछ तो फील हुआ होगा बचपन में. उसके बाद उस इमोशन को वैलिडेट कीजिए. प्लीज वैलिडेट द इमोशंस. कि many a times what we do, we push the emotions below the carpet. अरे नहीं, अब तो बड़े हो गए हैं, अब क्या ऐसे फील करना. And in our many a times within the males, that many a times within the males, they say, ki, okay, take a peg and everything will be fine. No, it doesn't get fine that way. You have to deal with the problem. You have to see the problem eye to eye. Then only it is possible. Okay. And then recognize, validate, and then reparent. Whatever was your unmet needs, we just learned whether we needed love, whether we needed safety, whether we needed anything, encouragement, validation. Give yourself that, a lot of that, so that you can reparent your child now. Whatever was not given to you in your younger years, you give that to yourself now. And then you learn to protect the child. You learn to protect this child by setting healthy boundaries. If you are not able to conform to anyone's demands, you learn to say no. You have to say no firmly but politely, like that. But you have to say, no, I can't. I won't be able to join you for the party, or I won't be able to come to that place exactly. So these are the things which one can do to reconnect with the inner child. And after that has been done, embody the healed self. Okay? Open your heart space and yes, embody this beautiful, lovely world, and now spread that love and compassion to others. Thank you so much. Hope it will be of some help.
Thank you so much for your time and insights on inner child healing, ma'am. Before we move on to the Q&A, I'd like to just take 30 seconds of your time for a quick poll. This will help us get to know you better and curate the topics, tailor future topics that we bring to you. A big thank you to everyone here today. Your presence and participation means a lot, and it makes this webinar a success. While you fill out the poll, I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Ms. Sharbani Chaudhary, for sharing her valuable time and insights with us. Rakesh, could you please share the results and move on? Please share the poll again. I request all the participants to reply to the poll. While you're filling out the poll, I'd like to mention to all the participants, if you'd like to know more about Vishwa, please visit vishwa.org. We have n number of fundraisers, crowdfunding, crowdsourcing campaigns going on. Kindly visit them and share them with ones who can help, who can contribute towards the betterment of the society. Moving on to the Q&A, I'd like to now first unmute Mr. Santosh. I've prompted you to unmute. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
So my question
How
is
do
like
we
there's someone.
reparent? Yeah, that's a beautiful question. Wonderful. See,
Ma'am, could you please reply to the participant who's been unmuted first? I will bring up the questions from the chat box to you.
okay.
There is a slide where it is saying that feel what the inner child is feeling, but how to do that? Could you help to understand? Like there is one slide, it just said that we need to feel what the inner child is feeling, but I didn't understand what exactly it is. It
Yeah.
meant.
Okay, I will tell you. See, in your childhood, if one has, in someone's childhood, if one has been left and the parents go for jobs and all, no? So as a child, it's a very common scenario, but the child doesn't know that why my parents have left me. He feels very rejected. Okay. This is a rejection wound. Let us take this. Huh? And then when he grows up, he will still be feeling that pain of being rejected. You have to sit with yourself and understand that what is it my inner child is trying to tell me? Is it feeling lonely, left out, or asking for some safety? That is, one has to sit with oneself and we have to listen to our inner voice. Why I always try to people please so much? You have to ask yourself, why I always want to please people? Because I have a rejection wound. Nobody should leave me and go. These are all very in-depth things, you know. Why I want to always say, yes, I will do this work, even if it is becoming such a overload on me, because I don't want to again remain lonely. At least someone is there. I have had patients, such beautiful, qualified girls in such toxic relationships. Why? Because they are so scared that they will be left alone. So you have to sit with yourself and you have to understand ki what is it my inner child is feeling. That is. Next. I hope you understood it.
Prashant bro, you are on mute.
Apologies. Santosh, I've prompted you to unmute again. Yes, please.
Thank you, ma'am. I got it. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to now unmute Mr. Shmuel.
You
hello,
hear
sir.
me now?
Yes, we can
You
hear
hear me? Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting presentation. And I want to ask you next question. I want to ask you how this method of unlocking
I
how
will reprompt you the question after he's done now. Just a moment. Yes, Shmuel, could you please ask your question?
Yeah. I want to ask you a question. How, according to your opinion, a method of unlocking childhood wounds can support improvement, effective treatment in problems of PTSD and another mental health problems.
Okay. Let me rephrase the question for you, ma'am. How this method of ICH or inner child healing can help you recover from childhood traumas of or PTSD and anxiety and other disorders, psychological disorders?
See, all the psychological disorders are having their root in the childhood. Okay. Either a child has not been given that environment at home that he could be okay. You are free from all the responsibilities. Now you do your work. No, the parents will give 5 responsibilities along with his studies. So the child will be anxious. Okay, if it rains, I have to go and pick up the clothes. Anxiety is being instilled. Okay. Mama has said that, okay, you have to switch off the gas after 10 minutes. A small child, he has to keep a track of the time as well. So all these things have been put in the child. The earliest imprints have been put on the child in the childhood only. Or any trauma will have a immense impact. But again, the only thing is we have to give 4 points. We have to first recognize the wound. Yes, I have the wound. People usually don't even know they have the wound. They are carrying on with life 30, 40, 50 years. They are carrying on with life. And then some questions are coming here also in messages.
Kindly don't pay attention to the chat
Okay.
box.
No issues. Then validate the emotions. Whatever emotions are coming, please validate them. Just don't say, okay, how can I feel this emotion at this age? No, you have to validate your emotions. You have to validate the hurt. If you felt cheated, you have to validate that. And then one has to reparent. And how to reparent? I told again, whatever where the unmet wounds, those have to be given to the child. And then set boundaries. This much and no more. At least in adulthood, that can be done. So all these things can be healed if the inner child is healed properly.
Yes, and I have another short question. I want to ask you if, according to your opinion, this method can to be effective, effective alternative to traditional psychiatric and psychologist treatment, psychiatric and psychologist methods of treatment in different mental problems and disorders.
I'll just rephrase that for you, ma'am. Do you think this method is beneficial over the traditional psychological treatments or therapies that are there? How would you sort of compare it with the traditional treatments that are existing?
All are actually, it is depending on when the patient comes, we do it depending on the patient's requirement. There is nothing that this is good and this is bad. Every therapy is good depending on the requirement of the patient. That is it.
Well, I hope that answers your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta. Okay, coming on to the questions in the chat box. Okay, there's a question from Udayini. Thank you. How do we reparent? Could you elaborate
Can you,
reparenting a little more?
I couldn't even hear Trishant, whatever was told. Please.
Yes, ma'am. Could you please elaborate reparenting more?
Sure. See, reparenting is a new word probably, but it is nothing but whatever where your unmet needs. There are some needs which is unique to every child, and obviously every child wants to be loved, cared for, all these things. If that need is unmet, then naturally problem will arise in the later years. So if you had felt lack of love, then stand in front of the mirror and say, I love yourself. Take your name and say, I love yourself. You are worth it. You can do it. And all these things are going to instill some confidence, but it won't happen in a day. It takes time. It will take time. But if nobody has hugged you during your childhood and you were always wanting, oh gosh, if only my father could hug me. Many girls come and they say, I really wonder when was the last time I could get the feel of my father's touch. But now you can hug yourself. You can love yourself. You can embrace yourself. These are all the methods of reparenting your own self now. Now you are grown up. Now you can look after yourself and give those things, that love, safety, security to the child who was really craving for it, from wanting and waiting for someone else to give. Give your the inner child. That is the inner voice actually. Okay, so you can give it to yourself now. Hope you understood.
Moving on to the next question. Thank you, ma'am. How do I get over bad experiences during my teens?
See yeah. Hello, Jasmine. The thing is ki you have to go back to that younger Jasmine. Okay, there is a proper
Ma'am, this
meditation.
question is not from Jasmine. I'm sorry.
Achha,
It's from,
someone else's. Okay,
yes.
okay.
How
So
do I get
whatever,
over bad experiences
whomsoever
during
has
my
asked that person, I will say ki go and stand behind that young child who was having a bad experience and put your hand at the back of the child, just in line with the heart center. Your adult self standing behind the child and say that I am there for you. I am here for your safety. And say whatever you want to say to the person or the situation who has caused this misery to you. So then it will have an impact. These are all the meditations which I make them do during the journey, transformative journey of healing and awakening. And people definitely get totally transformed. So, getting rid of any bad memory is you have to go back to that small little child and give that support, security, safety to him or her in your adult self.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is from Neha Pagaria. Even you understand it logically, the wound is embedded in the subconscious, and so it doesn't go away. So, how to retrain the subconscious mind?
See, subconscious, there are two main things. It doesn't have a delete button. Okay. So it won't happen in a jiffy. It won't happen. It will take time. Second point is subconscious can only be reprogrammed by repetition. Subconscious can only be reprogrammed by repetition. When we repeat every day, suppose we want to achieve something. Let us take an example. I want to get married to the love of my life. So the same sentence with same intense feeling every day when told, then it goes inside the subconscious.
Thank you. There's another question from Neha ma'am. Can your inner child be wounded in adulthood also?
Already wounded it is. You want to make it all the more.
No, okay, but is it possible for someone?
No, inner child is the timeline is 0 to 7.
Okay.
So that is the time you have the inner child. Okay. And okay, it could be another hurt after hurt. Those can happen. But the inner child is 0 to 7. When the subconscious is having full control and there is no filter. No, that's it's not possible that way. Inner child is already wounded in those years.
Thank you, ma'am. This I'd like to now unmute Jasmine Kaur.
Hi, I have like three, four questions, if that's okay.
Please.
So, first one is the one that you talked about right now. You said inner child is like 0 to 7 years of age, right? But I feel like that maybe it's not inner child, maybe the definition can be different. I feel like I lost my inner child at the age of 15, maybe. Maybe it's not my inner child, maybe it's just a version of myself which I lost. So I just wanted to know, is 0 to 7 only our inner child?
Sorry, the last sentence I missed.
The age of 0 to 7, is that only age when we have our inner child? Because I felt like I had it till the age of 15. Like, I used to trust people a lot. I was very innocent and everything, and that's what I lost. And I tried to get back with it, but it didn't happen.
See, basically, scientifically, it is 0 to 7. Okay. But maybe some, like for some people, it is you had your innocence was taken for granted. So that is there. Your innocence was taken for granted as much as I could understand from whatever you told. So definitely at that time, you were innocent enough to trust people, and people you misused that trust. Okay. So
Yes.
that is it.
And my second question is, how do we let go of someone who acted like our father figure or something? Because with my parents, I really detached myself in younger years of my life because of reasons just I didn't want to feel hurt or something. But whoever who was there for me acted like a father figure. Although he was just some years older than me, but it was like unconditional love. Only one-side communication, always asking me how I am, helping me out. But now that I have to let go of the person, how do I let go of somebody who acted like a father figure to me? Like, how do I let go of that
He
person?
acted like a father figure, but he did not live up to your expectation.
No, he did. He did. But you have to let go of people, right, who won't be in your life for much time. So, in that way.
Take back the control.
I don't know how
First,
to. I was like 14 at that time.
we always give the control button to someone else, na? Control
Yes.
button of our happiness, control button of our emotions. We give it to others. We have to take it back, no? We have to take it back, and then the dependency will reduce. Either we are emotionally dependent on someone,
Yes.
or we are financially dependent on someone. There is some dependence somewhere, no? The day you
Yes.
stop being dependent, you are gaining back the control all over again.
Yes, also I'm not dependent on them emotionally anymore. Like, for whatever I feel worried or scared, I don't go to them. But because they have nurtured me in a way, they have nurtured me. So that's why I think it's just always there. Even if I would talk to them after a year or something, I would still feel like, they are the person I would
You will still
depend
feel
on.
like,
That I would want to depend on them emotionally. Which you
therefore, there
said
is
so that
some
I should
emotional dependence
talk.
already still there. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
Yeah, it
to.
is there.
Yeah,
It
if
is
you
there.
want to be letting go and get control of your own self, so you have to take back the remote button from someone else.
Yes, and the other thing was ki if some particular scenario has hurted me in the childhood, as you said, what warms us, right? Like our inner child and the thoughts. So if that scenario has made me feel that way, can I remake the scenario or replay it like by my own self? Would
Yes,
that
yes,
kind of
yes,
help
yes,
me?
yes.
Because I
You
thought
can
it would,
visualize. You can visualize.
or
Yeah.
actually do it in reality, just replay it because I just want that memory to be replaced with another one kind of.
See, in visualization, you go back to that
Yes,
timeline,
yes,
and then you can give all the strength, all the love to the younger self and make her do whatever you couldn't do at that point of time.
okay.
Okay.
And just one last question is that follow. Actually, I think I have derealization. So I just wanted to know कि when we disassociate, like we go somewhere, feel like we're just not there when we are going somewhere. We don't feel present in the reality. And people say to be mindful, right, to deal with it. But I don't think I can always be mindful. So how do I deal with it?
The only answer is keep doing meditation.
Okay.
It will bring you to the present moment. Even when the mind is going somewhere else, it's like a muscle. Bring it back. It's going, bring it back. Once we do like this, we bring it back now, again and again, then only the muscles pop up. Mind muscle has to be trained. We are never taught in the school how to train our mental muscles.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You. Before we move on to the next questions, I would like to officially close the session and give details about the future topics that we are going to bring. Um, and I'd like to thank you a lot for your time and insights, and all the participants who have been with us up until now for showing enthusiasm and participating in the webinar. We have Manish Kothari speaking on 3rd of May from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Manish Kothari is the Managing Director of Rhino Machines Private Limited. He is known for sustainability along with infrastructural developments. He's created a material called SPP, which is silica plastic blocks, which is made from recycled foundry sand and plastic waste. The topic he's going to talk about is a sustainable way forward, moving from linear to circular living. He's going to be sharing strategies with the R ladder as well, that is reuse, reduce, rethink, repurpose, remanufacture. So he's going to share some strategies related to that. Simple shifts, big impact, practicing circular living every day. It's on 3rd of May, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Kindly register from Vishwa Talks. You'll be seeing some more topics coming up in the next 3-4 days. Kindly go ahead and register for them as well. Yes. Thank you, Rakesh. You can stop sharing the screen. Moving on to the next question. Yes. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah.
The next question is from Ms. Alka Pandya. Is migraine cause of childhood trauma?
Is
Is
migraine.
Yes.
See, all our emotions are definitely impacting our health. Like mind and body are not going separately. It's a combination. So definitely, whenever mind is hurt, it will have an impact on the body. Yes, every trauma will have an impact, physical impact, 100%. And answer is yes. We are not going into the detail, but it is yes.
Thank you. The next question is from Pradeep. How to overcome How to overcome cheating and emotional abuse in adulthood.
The thing is, ki again, you have to take back the remote control to your own hand. How to overcome cheating? See, if someone is cheating for the first time, okay, you forgive. Someone is cheating for the second time, then also it's okay. But no, it's not okay. Sorry. You are not going to keep on allowing someone to, okay, you are doing this. You have to have a good amount of self-respect and take back the remote control. Many cases come to me and they keep on getting hurt and they keep on sticking to the same person. So definitely that's not the right thing, no? You have to take a decision somewhere. I will just take half a second, some internet issue. I'll just switch on the plug. Okay?
Sure.
Just half a second.
Sure. You can turn off your video. While ma'am is reconnecting to the webinar, I'd like to mention what we are doing at Vishwa. We have an Annadanan campaign going on. Our mission is to fight
Yes,
hunger.
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I just had to switch on that
Not a problem.
plug.
Okay, moving on to another question from Neha
This is
Bukaria.
a very good question, rather.
How to deal with criticism and judgment from parents even now?
It's only by healing, you know. We, whatever wounds as a child one has accumulated, one has to reparent yourself. If nobody has given you appreciation, reparent. If nobody has given you love, reparent yourself. That is it.
Another question from Jasmine Kaur. Even I get a lot of headaches from years. Can you suggest a trauma book? Trauma related effect on health?
Yeah, trauma has an immense impact on health from head to toe. Trauma has an impact. That's a big chapter which we do in the
Ma'am, can you
course.
suggest a book?
Suggest a book.
Yes, trauma, suggest a trauma book or something like that.
Trauma book. Why don't they join the course? I'm just joking. But there is no, as such, nowadays in the internet, they will get many books related to trauma. Specifically, to I don't remember one. But the thing is, ki, trauma does have an impact on the physical body very badly.
Another question from Alka Pandya. Is there any way to overcome or cure migraine if it's caused by trauma?
First of all, heal yourself. Unless we heal ourselves, that thing will keep on popping up. Today, okay, tomorrow again migraine. Maybe 1 month you won't have migraine, but the next month you will start having migraine. So it will keep on coming back. That is there.
I'll be sharing some book sources with Jasmine Kaur. You can check it out in the chat box. Another question from Jasmine Kaur. Can we get our inner child back?
Yeah, that is what for we are reparenting the child so that we heal. Yeah, you can heal your life by Louis Hay is a very good book. You can heal your life by Louis Hay. There, every emotion and what the emotion is causing the physical ailment that has been given.
Heal your body. Okay, I'm just getting the details of the book. It's asking me.
Can't hear you, Trishan.
I'm just copying a link and sharing it so that people
Okay,
can
okay,
access
okay,
it.
okay.
Just a moment. Yeah. A question from Pratibha Bharti. How do we know whether we are transferring this kind of pain to our kids too, and how to make control that damage shouldn't happen?
See, this is again intergenerational trauma transfer. Intergenerational trauma transfer. If a mother has been traumatized, she will definitely transfer it to doctor. And the daughter will then transfer to her daughter or son. So somewhere the cycle has to be broken, no? Somewhere this intergenerational trauma cycle has to be broken. And how it is possible? It is only possible when one takes the healing, one does the healing seriously. Healing has to be done. Unless healing is done, a trauma will get passed on from one generation to another.
I think we are all done up with the questions, ma'am. And with that, I think it's time to call off the webinar. And just a moment. So everyone who's here with us up until now, kindly do visit Mind Sutra Sharbani YouTube channel. I will just share the link shortly on your chat box. Here you go. And do follow our Instagram page to know more upcoming events and courses. Ma'am, I would like to request you to join a breakout room link that you will see on your screen shortly. I'd like to thank all of the participants who've been with us up until now, till the last minute. And we will send you the PPT and contact details of ma'am via email right after the session. Hoping to see you all next week. Thank you so much.